Weather's telling me it's actually 35 degrees this morning. Damn chilly. It's actually enough it's interfering with my butane. I'm gonna have to start sticking it in my sleeping bag pretty quick here. It is getting harder and harder to wait out the, cold part of the morning in my fluffy sleeping bag. I tend to be a wimp about cold in the morning. I'm fine at night. I prefer it to be really cold at night because then I can get under blankets and things. But yeah, when I'm up in the Sierra and I'm doing shorter trips, I would generally sleep in whatever layer I'm going to wear in the morning just so I don't have to put on a cold shirt, especially if it's wet or sweaty. However, on the PCT, I had to break myself of that because I was ending up, when doing that day after day after day with a sweaty shirt, I ended up getting abrasions in some places, so I switched to using a sleeping shirt. I can still put stuff in my sleeping bag so it's quasi-warm, but I'm just a wimp. I'm not very good at this, you know. I think last night was the first night in a while that it did not rain. I had some dogs barking in the distance, but other than that, it's been pretty quiet here. Occasional car going by on the dirt road over there. I'm basically getting moving. I need to meet somebody at Crossroads Cafe at 10 or 11 in the morning. I'm going to raid the box that Dennis mailed and got lost in the mail, and basically use that to get to the next 75 miles, then hopefully use the remainder when I pass by the lady who received it, because she's another however far, I think like halfway across the island. So that was back where I camped last night. I just went really far back so I wasn't visible from the road, precautions due to previous experiences. Okay, so I may be on camera peeing, I guess. Probably wouldn't be the first time. Yeah, a bit of a chilly morning. So the weather actually said it was 35 degrees, but it felt like 30. So I broke out the leggings for this morning. On the plus side, I should have another round of hot coffee waiting for me at the store in a couple of miles. One of the big pluses of this section, lots of apple trees. And civilization once again. Now we shall see if the fabled package from Dennis actually arrives. Hey, the long lost package has arrived. I have no idea what their petition is, but I'm tempted to sign it. Okay, I may have spent way too long in there eating pizza and drinking coffee, but I got another episode uploaded, got some gloves, life is good. So Crossroads back there was basically the last food stop for about 75 miles. Yes, I'm back on miles because I figured out math. Not like kid math where you actually think or use a calculator. Adult math, aka Excel. So I drank way too much coffee and I talked way too much with everybody who was there. Really friendly folks. Yeah, 4 days worth of food, thanks to Dennis. So it's going to be a little heavier carry for a little while. Thanks to Claire from the Nova Scotia chapter of the IAT, I was able to get both the box that has been lost in customs and get some beta on what is ahead. She also gave me some hope that the whole Meat Cove thing may actually be possible. But who knows? It's a roller coaster of emotion up in Canada on the trails. People talk about how nice the Canadians are, but so far, not one person has stopped to offer me a gun like, happened in Alabama. Did have one person offer me weed, though. Actually, I did have an Amish guy in a cart who offered me corn, but I didn't have any way to cook it, so had to say thank you, sir, but no. So many apples. So my phone just dinged, and it was an email from the Los Angeles Times, and I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe they heard about my hike and want to talk to me. No, they were just looking online. I'm one of those people that posted a trip report about hiking, diving the oil rigs off the coast of Long Beach. And one of those oil rigs is the one that caused that big oil spill that's been all over the news. And that oil spill is actually heading right for some of my favorite dive spots. So that sucks. But yeah, they want to talk about that. I guess it is better than the time I got contacted because somebody I went to high school had killed, sexually molested an 8-year-old girl, dismembered her, and dumped her body in a puddle. Female person who went to my high school. So yeah, I guess I'd rather be talked to about oil rigs leaking. Okay, welcome to tonight's water source. Not quite my favorite, because if you see those beams over there, if those leach into the water, you get this oily taste that really isn't the best, but it's fine. Doesn't taste too bad. And now it gets to that 6:40-ish, 30 minutes till dark, and I'm just hoping to get into a more remote area where I can find a camp. Well, probably a good thing I didn't try and set up too close to that rail line. So I'd really hoped I was actually going to find somebody to ask if I could just stay on their nice, grassy lawn in a back corner, but oh well. This spot isn't bad. It's far enough back from the road where I'm not worried. The only bit of a concern is it looks like that's a clear-cut area, but it doesn't look like it's active right now, and I don't know. It's hard to tell. I guess if I wake up in a panic at 4 a.m., again, I'll know what to do. Okay, well, the good news is there was no active lumber activity at 4 o'clock in the morning right next to me. I did, on the other hand, have a couple of trains come by in the middle of the night, which did wake me up rather suddenly, but yeah, no biggie. It does seem like it's warmer today. It is actually warmer this morning than it was late at night last night. Despite spending all that time sitting around and talking, drinking, and eating yesterday, I still managed to make 20 miles. Mileage estimates are kind of hard to make because the guide is incorrect. The mileage seems to not match up with reality. So Dennis is actually helping me measure mileage remotely, which is helping. So I have another, 50, 60 miles or so to get to the next kind of resupply gas station point. So I'm just going to be able to go as long as I need. I am hoping to get a couple of longer days in because, I want to make progress. I'm tired and feeling like I'm more and more ready to be done. Now it is going to be another 2 weeks at least before I'm done, but I'm ready to get there. Plus side, it looks like I'm going to be getting back to the coastal area, so that'll be cool. Should have a little better views and get to see the ocean again. When I'm not hiking, I tend to spend a lot of time diving, just getting into the ocean at any opportunity. So I have really been missing that as I get out and see ocean. So in addition to food, that package improved my life in one other very important way. Stuff sacks. When I swapped out my sleeping bag, I forgot to have my parents include the stuff sack that came with said sleeping bag. And I know some people are fine with just jamming their sleeping bag in the bottom of the pack. I can do that if it doesn't have to go inside of a liner bag. Once I'm trying to jam it inside the liner bag, especially with a big poofy, 10-degree Western Mountaineering bag, I end up having to be really careful not to rip the bag, and it's hard to get all the air out of it and all that. So I'm a big believer in stuff sacks. Not to mention, if you're using these DCF ones, which I've become a big fan of during this trip, yes, they're expensive, but they're waterproof, or at least water resistant. If the liner bag ends up getting any water in it, which can happen if you're out here long enough, you don't want it to pool down there with the sleeping bag. So I'd rather have the sleeping bag inside of something. And the packing, it's not the end of the world to have to do it that way, but keep in mind, I've been out for a long time. I'm going to hit 300 days probably before I'm off trail. And just having to do it day after day after day, you want things that if it improves it even just a little bit, at least for me, that makes it a lot nicer. So if everything is in a stuff sack, I can just kind of modularly pack things into my pack. I have a certain way everything fits. That way I know I'm not forgetting anything, and it's just a little quicker. So here's my cell spot from last night. Road's over there, and way over there, that's that clear-cut area. And onward. Okay, so I was a little closer to somebody's property than I would have preferred, but oh well. So the train tracks are basically right on the other side of the road, which is why it was so loud last night. Hey, and there's the ocean. I'm going to be following the coast for a good chunk of this now. Cow on a leash. Hey there. I like that. Not smile, you're on camera, anything like that. Just maybe you're on camera, but maybe not. Okay, more came in for a bathroom, but decided to come see what the interpretive shelter was. Okay, this park is nice enough. Has all these little park benches tucked away in all these corners. Rather hard to find the bathroom though, and no drinking water whatsoever. So welcome to Malignant Cove. This is marked as a camp, but I'm not sure where. The part they say camp seems to be, oh, I don't know, underwater? Less than an hour till dark. There's plenty of places I could figure out a camp, but I need water. I've got about a quarter of a liter, and that's not even ideal for getting through the night. So I've been hoping to find somebody out by their house, but so many of the houses have really long driveways. I don't want to wander, randomly into somebody's property. There are a couple of supposed streams ahead. So far they've been dry or, just stagnant. The joys of filtering out of a roadside ditch right around sunset. Plus side, I'll be able to get enough water out of here where now I just have to find a place to camp. So yeah, who knows? Who needs a sparkling mountain stream when you got that? I mean, it's moving-ish. Also, kind of a shame I can't see the beach because sunset must be awful pretty. Okay, well, I'm going to lose daylight pretty quick, so I think I'm going to see if I can get lucky and find a patch of ground back here. Okay, hardest thing back here was this is an old roadbed, long abandoned, and trying to find a spot where I could actually get stakes in was kind of difficult. This will work though, and I'm pretty sure nobody's going to hassle me back here.